Beautiful. So this is boom 500. Boom 500. So boom 500, just looking at the candles, I have this major level here, which is a level of TP where I'm expecting it to boom maybe towards. Then looking closely, where the resistance, broke above, came down, broke above, failed, came down, broke above. So right now it's still above in something like a range for the past 1, 2, 3, 4. For the past 4 weeks, it has been ranging in one zone. So most probably, we know that once we break this zone here, once we broke this level, the potential of having like this TP there at the top, right? Starting from the weekly, as you can see. The daily, one thing I love about the daily is that the 50 exponential moving average already is below the market, meaning it's acting as a dynamic support. And if you check, the market has been giving us some form of higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, and higher low. So already you can see the structure of a boom 500 starting from the weekly I showed you. So right now on the daily, I love how the market has structured itself. So I said, once we break that double top here, which is the previous high, once we break there, we can get beautiful, beautiful buys on. We can get beautiful buys on boom 500. Beautiful buys, we can get them after we break this zone. Right. Let's go down to a lower time frame than the daily. So here, weekly showed you what is happening. Daily, I showed you what is happening. 4 hour time frame. This is it. Zone here. Right. Remember, in Smart Conference Trading 3.0, we're going to be talking of supply, demand. We're going to be talking of order blocks, fair value gaps, inefficiency, blah, 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 blah. All those things, they simply are an additional confluence to what we already have. They're simply an additional confluence. It's not like they change the strategy or what, they don't change anything. They're simply an additional. Right. Check here, we have this trend line, touch, boom, boom. So there we can expect, where do I expect beautiful sales, beautiful buys without any restrictions? Here, we created this high, higher low. We are at a higher low level, higher low, boom, higher low, boom, higher low. I'm expecting a boom. So for someone maybe who might not get an entry, someone below there, they can also get an entry for buys here. Remember, this will now be something like a double bottom where you have a left leg, neckline, right leg, break the neckline, retest the neckline, then show something like this. So boom 500 is very, it's presenting a very beautiful structure, very beautiful setup according to our strategy. It's presenting a very beautiful setup. So this can be a possible double bottom neckline. If you don't get an entry below here, below the neckline, you can also get an entry above the neckline. Break retest, you can get an entry. This target, we are targeting this high here. As I said, once that level is broken, we are most likely going to have potential strong buys above there. So that will be the first target, that resistance there. So that would be the first target as of now. So going down to 1 hour, we're simply going down there to look for any other things that we might look at for the entry. So the safest buys, as I said, is always after the break of the neckline. Why? When you are going down, you're forming lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. This is a lower high. So meaning the break of that lower high and the retest, it's actually a sign that most probably the bulls have kicked in and the probability of the market going up will be high. So someone getting their buys after the break of the neckline also, that's a safer zone as well. So this is what I'm having. on boom 500. So another thing that we can also look at, we also have this counter trend line here. You can try to draw a counter trend line touch, right, broke above, came back, bounced, came back, bounced. So most probably that is why I'm expecting buys after the break of the neckline there. Buys about there, like this. Neckline, like that. So if ever someone is not in here on the double bottom, you can also enter upon the break of the neckline, which is actually a better, safer entry, which is actually a better, safer entry there on the break of the neckline. It will be somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around this level here, which is also the moving average also will be an additional confluence. But once it breaks above here, the moving average will now be below, which is showing you a high probability of having booms all the way. So once it breaks the neckline, we are going to enter buys. Beautiful. We hold them all the way to the zone above there. Buy stops, buy stops, buy stops. I can just place them above the neckline, something like that. Something like this. So beautiful. This is the structure and setup for the boom 500. Don't play around with your monies here. Rather wait for the break of the neckline that we marked and then get an entry. Or let's see on 30 minutes. Touch, right. So this is also another structure that one can consider. Touch, so right now it's above, broke below, broke outside. If you get a touch on this level or even above it, if you get a retest either on the trend line or on that level there, you can also maybe attempt to get some buys, but the safest buys are after the break of the neckline, double bottom neckline. After the break there, those are the most probable safest buys that one can enter, unlike these ones that you enter below the neckline.